The Niners and Eagles play next week. The Niners have a little extra time to prepare. It's going to be in Philly. I kind of feel like the Eagles are a better team than the Niners. I kind of feel that way. They have a better offensive line. They have the best offensive line. Niners don't have the best offensive line. They have a pretty weak one. That being said, it's a regular season game. And it means more to me, to the Niners, than the Eagles. The Eagles have a couple game lead on the Niners. They're in a great spot. They beat the Niners in the NFC Championship game. This rivalry is more one-sided. The Niners have something to prove against the Eagles. The Eagles don't as much. Of course, they want to beat the Niners. But I mentioned earlier with Debo how this game sort of brought the ego out of him in a good way, because apparently he doesn't necessarily have a standard that he can hit every day regardless of who's watching, or he needs his ego to come into play to be the best of his, to be his best. This whole team's like that. And the Eagles will bring out the ego in the Niners. The Eagles will bring out the ego in the 49ers. Shout out to the coach for giving me this whole concept. If you're watching, this is you. But people are going to say the Niners are going to lose this game. A lot of people are going to pick the Eagles to win. And that's when the Niners are at their best. They're like, oh, you don't think we're the best? Well, we'll prove it then. They're at their worst when everyone's like, when they were up 24-0 at halftime, I was like, watch, they're going to come out and mess around because everyone's saying, oh my God, they're a juggernaut. They just proved that they're the best team. I was like, look at them go right now. And every time people say that, every time they tell themselves that, they come out and lay an egg like they did in the third quarter. They need to stop. Because once their ego is satisfied, they just fold. But their ego won't be satisfied. This is going to be an ego game for the Niners. God, and it's like, just like last week's game was an ego game for the Eagles. You're playing the Chiefs in Kansas City. They beat you in the Super Bowl. The Eagles win, and you got freaking Nick Sirianni coming off the field like, it was his Super Bowl. The Chiefs are looking past that game. And I think that's kind of what this is. Like, this is the Niners Super Bowl. It's not the Eagles Super Bowl. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Niners find a way to win this game. I just gave a whole long preamble about this matchup without saying anything that has to do with X's and O's, football, personnel. It's just all vibes. I could see the Niners winning this game next week against the Eagles. In fact, I'm thinking about picking the Niners to win the game just because that's who they are. They're so desperate to prove themselves right now. In the playoffs, I already feel like they've proven themselves. They've already established they're the best team. Doesn't matter if they lose the game. Okay, who cares? But now, freaking late November, this is it. They got to play their best. I wouldn't be surprised if the Niners win this regular season game. Let's see what Jason has to say. Debo is a front runner. Sorry, I don't want to read your text online. Sorry, my bad. Eagles secondary can be had, though. So I'm saying this could be a Brandon Ayuk game. This could be a big-time Brandon Ayuk game. The whole team is they're all front runners, Jason. That's the thing about him. But he said, read that shit. All right, man. I got you. I think the Niners could win that. I think they could. I think the Eagles getting Kevin Byard was a nice addition. And the Eagles, I mean, they have that offensive line that can neutralize the Niners D-line and give them a chance. So we'll see. Last time the Niners played the Eagles, Jalen Hurts was terrible. But it didn't matter because they rushed for 4 touchdowns and knocked out Brock Purdy immediately. Let's see if that game's going to come down to, remember Kyle Shanahan called that I'm not saying stupid, that interesting play action pass that had Tyler Kroft blocking Hassan Reddick, and then he defended the decision forever. I bet you he doesn't do anything like that next week. I bet you. Gentleman's bet. He ain't calling that this week. How much you want to bet? 2 gentlemen's bets? 2 handshakes? You got it. That's it. That's the show. I'm going to go eat Thanksgiving dinner. It's late. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow with Larry and maybe special guests. I'll have to talk. We'll have to see. Hold on. I have a bunch of super chats I have to hit. Andy707. Yo, Grant, did you see when Kinlaw got flipped over? I did. Sorry. He got up, though. He seemed all right. It's Vito, baby. Says, I'm happy about our win, but I feel like we won by so much because Gino was hurt as well. Next game against Phil. I don't want to hear that Gino was hurt excuse. Gino just sucks. There's my analysis. I don't want to hear about his freaking injury. He threw the ball fine. He sucks. The Seahawks played themselves with that guy. Gave him $25 million a year to suck. It's the Geno Smith experience. Eric Jensen says it's a road rival game in Seattle. Come on, bruh. What does that mean? What does bruh mean? I don't understand. Crazy Gaming says Brock is a baller. Grant changes from week to week. And also, how do you know what Shanahan is thinking? And the throw was tipped, so stop putting it on Purdy. All right, man. Well, you gave me $20, so I appreciate that. And I disagree with everything you wrote, but I respect you very much, even though you're crazy about gaming. I think. So thank you. Trophy Boy Trey is really heme. Gives me $2. Thank you. David Trinidad says, rate the beauty of Purdy spiral to Ayuk on that TD pass. Oh, it was a 14. Eric Jensen. Trey Wood had us 3-8. One bad throw. LOL. Man, why are you talking about Trey Lance? Adrian Cuevas says, has Purdy had that device on his elbow all year? I didn't see the device. I'm going to have to look at that. Anoop. O-line look robust today. Jalen Moore at right tackle, please, but Will Kyle? I don't know. So next week we have Hassan Reddick versus Colton Kivitz. Yikes. Hopefully it's an offensive tackle against Reddick. Nathan Reyes says Ward will be better. Lost confidence against DK. Gains it back against DK. That's a good point. Brother Bob says, Iglet, I'm wine and turkey drunk. Larry's lame. Defense balled out. I decoded that. J Figs Ramon gives me $2. Thank you for all of that. I'm grateful for all of you. Merry Thanksgiving and happy Hanukkah. All of it.